Now, as for some catalysts, you know what? I did mention this. Fed rate cuts will be coming later this year around, I'm going to guess around July timeframe, right? But many people also think that, yeah, if we get a Fed rate cut, we're going to see another huge run. Well, we're going to see it no matter what. But I consider this a catalyst because obviously when we have rate cuts, it's meant to spur up the economy. It's meant to drive money into the economy. Why? Well, that means you can borrow cheap, right? You can borrow for a mortgage. You can borrow for a car. You can borrow with your credit card. And also, businesses can do that as well. They could get a bank loan, right? They could get a construction loan or any kind of loan that helps the business. Everything becomes cheaper when the interest rate is lower. So it spurs on the economy. Well, when money is flowing left and right and the money printer is still running and never stopping, you put all that together, well, there's going to be a lot of money sloshing around. And that's why I think it's going to be good overall for US markets and for crypto markets, of course, when you have trillions and trillions and trillion dollars flowing, okay, and going to everything. Now, that may sound good in theory that everyone's just going to get rich, right? But that's not the thing. When you have all this money sloshing around, what happens? Inflation gets worse. Inflation starts heading upwards, okay? Which means if you're not holding on assets like Bitcoin, well, then you're actually getting robbed, okay? Because everything starts getting more expensive. Cost of living goes up, food goes up, services go up, housing goes up, rent goes up, everything goes up. So if you're not out appreciating inflation with your money, you're actually losing. Your buying power gets worse, right? It goes lower. So that's why we need to hold Bitcoin and crypto. We need to outperform inflation. Otherwise, you're just getting robbed over time. So we got that going, right? We got the halving event, of course, coming. That is the biggest catalyst that we have this year, but there's many other catalysts, of course, that may be coming this year. Okay? Who knows if another big company is going to be buying? Who knows if MicroStrategy is going to be buying more, right? What about the ETFs? How much money is going to be loaded into them later this year? We got a presidential election coming up. We still have Elon and his payment system coming up. We got a big court settlement day between Coinbase and SEC. We got endless catalysts coming up this year. Maybe off chance we get an Ethereum spot ETF too. I mean, there's just so many. That's coming this year too. All right. But outside all the catalysts, what else is there? Well, if you're looking at it from a TA perspective, did Bitcoin just bottom and descending wedge with a classic throw over? I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good. It looks like, okay, that's what it means. That, yeah, we did trend down a little bit. We broke through this descending wedge, and then the next stop is upwards, breaking upwards. The bigger picture is very bullish. Of course it is. Okay, you don't need charts to tell you that. Bitcoin is bullish. Here's another one, rainbow chart that shows Bitcoin is now in the fire sale category, which is kind of amazing if you think about it. If Bitcoin at like 40,000 is considered fire sale, man, we got a long way to climb. We're not anywhere close to the top, right? So we have after fire sale, you got buy, accumulate, still cheap, hodl. Is this a bubble? FOMO intensifies. Sell, seriously sell, maximum bubble territory. It doesn't look like we have hit maximum bubble territory in a long time. Last time we only hit FOMO intensifies, and we kind of stopped there. We got stopped out by Gary Gensler. No. Chair Powell. He takes credit for that. So this time around, we'll get up there again. But right now, it's considered fire sale. If you think about it, that's quite amazing. Around 40,000 still considered fire sale, but it is. And again, when in doubt, zoom out. This is what always happens. We're getting closer to halving event. We're going to break through. and then we're going to start trending upwards every single time. Maybe not immediately. Today I looked at what happened in 2020 when we had our last halving event. Bitcoin didn't really start moving until November. So it took a few months afterwards before Bitcoin started moving. But keep in mind, in 2020, everyone thought Bitcoin was going to break the trend because of that nasty COVID drop, right? People thought, hey, we're not going to follow previous cycles. It's different now. Everything's too scary. But again, Bitcoin does not care about scary. Bitcoin does not care about anything. It just continues to move forward. And that's because the supply keeps on diminishing and demand keeps on going up. That's why the price goes up. And the fundamentals of Bitcoin has never been better. I've been saying that for a long time. And it hasn't changed. And it keeps on going up, right? So that's how it is. Celestia. Celestia is out of Cosmos, right? And why are they modular? Well, unlike a normal blockchain, which basically has all these things, to dumb it down, they have all these things that they have to do, and it's handled by one single chain and all the validators or nodes on that chain, which makes it kind of inefficient and slow, right? Someone like Celestia decided to separate these kind of things that they have to do, these functions, such as settlement, consensus, and data availability. So Celestia's main thing is data availability, which allows other chains that are using ZK rollups to utilize it as a storage layer and a way to fetch that storage really cheaply and easily. So you almost think of Celestia as a giant hard drive for other chains. That's their main bread and butter. Okay, but they separate out everything else. So the data availability has its own layer, right? And when you have different layers, it makes things more efficient. So speaking of data availability, right? They recently collaborated with Polygon for that. So people that are building on Polygon can also utilize that. And, even, well, I won't get to this next one that also uses it. But just FYI, Celestia, they're going to do a lot of airdrops too. So they posted this. Well, not they didn't post. Someone else, Masari, posted this. But people that are staking Celestia will get anywhere from $0.8 to $1.6 worth of TIA just from airdrops of other dApps that is within the Cosmos ecosystem. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know which projects will be giving airdrops, but Celestia basically they figure out a way to reward their stakers to make this happen. But I was going to say the other main chain that actually integrated Celestia's modular data availability is Manta Pacific, and that's the next one I want to talk about. But Celestia overall, they've been doing very well. Now, on fire, you could argue they're on fire because of data availability. And they also have partnered up with the biggest Oracle out there, Chainlink, and others too. So they're getting their data availability out there, right? And overall, I think they're going to do very well.